Yeah, so it should be interesting to see him play this role. Like I said, there's not much of a stretch from him when he was playing Ramsey Snow. So I will really be looking forward to that. Like I said, I want to really see how this Inhumans is going to work. I know they're trying to do it as like a TV show,
Right.
and we went through several different incarnations. Because remember, first it was supposed to be a movie, then they kind of changed it at the last minute and said, "Oh no, it's not a movie; it's going to be a TV show." Now we kind of get like a hybrid. So I hope, really hope, that this doesn't, flop. Because I really do want to see Marvel take this to another level. Because let's be real, I mean, they can't keep doing Avengers. Um, I like what they're trying to do with Doctor Strange and Guardians of the Galaxy by giving us another look at the different, universes that are out there.
Right.
Considering we have the magical universe and now, of course, the cosmic universe. So I really, really hope that this isn't going to flop. But Marvel has been on the road lately, and they
Yeah.
haven't let us down just yet, man.
No, not yet. I don't think they are anytime soon. If they keep going, of course, that they're going. It's something that we mentioned before. We were talking about this. I think a lot of people slept on Doctor Strange.
They
Um,
did.
People, that movie doesn't get enough credit. I mean, visually, that was the best movie I've seen in 2016. And the movie itself, for what it's set up, just like how Guardians set up the cosmic universe, Doctor Strange set up the mythical universe. So now with mystical universe, so now with that, you can bring in more characters. You can bring in your Ghost Riders. You can bring in other people that use magic. That was a big step for the Marvel universe, and I think people kind of slept on it. I mean, it's people that we know that didn't even go see it. It's like, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But it's to the point where, and this shouts out to Mr. Showtime for this. He was like, people are kind of at the point now where they feel like they don't have to go. No, you still have to go, because when we get to Infinity War, you're going to be looking like, who the fuck is this? So you still need to go see these movies, whether you feel they're important or not.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is like we have to have these movies because Infinity War is a very important part. This is going to wrap up everything that Iron Man has set up so many years ago. And this is
Right.
basically what Marvel's end game plan is. You have to be here for that. If you're not here for that, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So everything counts now. Everything, even the Netflix movie, the Netflix shows, all that counts
Right.
now.
I like that. I like that this series is not going to wait for you. It's been a decade now. You should know the drill. If something comes out and it says Marvel, watch it and go see it.
Yep, that's it. So while Marvel has been moving steadily towards that, DC, on the other hand, DC, on the other hand, has been really struggling, and I mean struggling. Where do we start? I guess let's start with the fact that they keep centering everything around Batman. I know you fanboys out there love Batman. I get that. I really do. But you have to understand that there's like hundreds of other characters in that universe. And like I've said before in the past, DC had the power to really insert Marvel because Marvel only has so many characters that they could work with. DC had all the actual rights to their characters, which means that they could bring a character out of left field if they felt like it and didn't have to worry about the red tape that Marvel would have to worry about if they were trying to grab somebody like Wolverine and wanted to bring them in to like the Infinity War. They didn't have to work around that.
Right.
But wow, DC just on the ball. So this is no different, and this has actually changed. So I want to take, at this point when we actually reported this story, it was kind of like, set in stone, and we thought it was, but then they actually just kind of changed this or they updated it. But at one point, Matt Reeves, well, first it started off, Batman, which was going to be a solo movie. They're hoping that was going to be right after Justice League, I think.
Right.
Actually, Ben Affleck bowed out. He was supposed to direct it, and then he stopped.
Yeah, he got out of there. He was like, this shit is stupid.
Right. So I don't think he wanted this tied to him. I really think it has something to do, personally, I think it has something to do with that, the couple of movies that he did direct. Like, I don't know if he directed The Accountant, but I know he did that one where he was a gangster or something like that, and they didn't do that well.
I don't know.
I think that's what it was. I think it was like he kind of looked at how that bombed, and maybe he felt like if he tried to do that with Batman, he'll probably get crucified. So he wanted to be the best Batman, best Bruce Wayne he could possibly be. So I think he bowed out and just decided to let Warner Brothers find another director or producer. Okay, we get that.
Right.
So then Warner Brother goes out. They try to find, somebody. They've gone through different directors, and then they finally settled on Matt Reeves. But as time went on, negotiations between Matt Reeves broke down. So Matt Reeves bowed out. So now they were back looking for another director. But then just roughly about a few days ago, Ben Affleck kind of did some type of PR where he showed that Matt Reeves was back on the project by showing a clip or an image of him and Matt Reeves shaking hands or something. And
yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. So now all of a sudden Matt Reeves is back in it. But before even that, in between this, and that's just mentioned, they decided to do something else, which was kind of weird. Rumors were speculating that Ben Affleck didn't want to do anything with Batman anymore. Like after
Batman, like, I'm done. Screw this.
Right, screw this shit. I'm going home. So now we have this whole, is it really real? Are you going to still be Batman? Are you not going to be Batman? And in the midst of all this, the direction of where this movie is trying to go, we don't know the storyline yet. We've seen screenshots. It's supposed to be Deathstroke in it, which is supposed to be, I guess, the main villain. But we know how that all turns out in terms of how DC goes, but who knows? Then we circle back around. Matt Reeves is back on the project, so we'll see how that works out now, see if they create a good script. But it's a clusterfuck. So what is it about DC that is just stopping them from being great? What are they doing?
I don't know. I think the biggest thing that DC is doing that's stopping them from being great is that they are trying to play catch up with Marvel instead of just building their universe. They're doing like how you would normally expect this type of world to go. They're just putting these movies out here. They're not introducing people. They're not building a universe, but they're trying to play catch up. I mean, we said this many times on our show. It's no way that they shouldn't have had each one of these characters be built up with Justice League. And now these movies are coming out. And even though, yes, they are making money because they come out in the summer, you don't have anything to do. And it's hot as hell. So you say, let's go to a movie and go to air conditioning. They're coming out with these movies and they're making money. So they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, but they're bombing. I mean, they're not bombing financially, but they have bad reviews. I mean, what Suicide Squad had, what a 30? Batman versus Superman had the same thing. And that's arguably one of the most horrible movies of all time. And then it's rumors going around that Wonder Woman is going to be bad. And now you got Affleck dropping out. And I think it was, so he can focus more on the role himself. But I kind of feel like he saw something and was like, you know what? I am not taking the blame for this. I'm out of here. I think that is what's going on with it. And then they're going to do Nightwing now. And it's like, you haven't even introduced Dick Grayson.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. So this news just kind of came out just roughly yesterday. Apparently, they are looking to do Nightwing. Now, just like Infrar-Ed just said, you have never been introduced to a Robin in any of this new universe. They try to throw us off and make it seem as if Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character in Batman: The Dark Knight Rises was actually a Robin, but that made no sense whatsoever. I don't even know why.
Plus, the Nolan verse doesn't even count, so
it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. But they somehow focused on that, and then next thing you know what I'm saying? It just kind of phased off. So now we hear, oh yeah, we want to do Nightwing. How are you going to do Nightwing and you haven't even introduced the character?
Right. It's like the only thing they can do is to make it a standalone movie. But even still, you need Batman, and you kind of need to know that he was Robin. I swear for God, if I see Batman's parents get killed one more time,
you got to see them pearls, baby. Pearls fall down that damn drain. That's all I gotta do.
Just a bad idea. And it's more of a personal hate for it as well, because Nightwing is my #1 DC character, like ever. So I really don't want to see this destroyed, but I already know it will be.
And it's a movie too. It's not even a series. I would have settled for a series. I would have settled for they told me like, yeah, we're going to create a Nightwing movie and it's going to be a TV series. I'd have been hype about that. I'm like, okay, because you can flesh out a lot. You can start off like, him being in Bloodhaven. Him trying to separate and doing flashbacks. Arrow, but flashbacks to him, growing up as Robin, trying to separate himself from Batman.
Exactly.
I would have taken that.
Me too, but no, they're not going to do that because they're DC and they're idiots when they come to their movies.
It is. They look at this as, I think they have the wrong people in the wrong position. I think most of it is just like, as long as we can get money from people, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. So the Lego movie Batman, which by the way is awesome. That's probably DC's best movie. And it was the Lego Batman.
Lego Batman, baby.
Lego Batman. Is the director of it, Chris McKay. He was the one that's actually he wants to do the whole, you know what I'm saying, Nightwing thing. And it's just kind of came out of left field. I don't know. I remember a long time ago, we reported that they wanted to get Stephen Wynn to actually play Nightwing.
Yeah.
Stephen Yeun, I'm sorry. From off of Glenn, from off of
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I have a feeling that's what we're going to be seeing. Because remember, he was in the lead role for that. And then all of a sudden, it just dissipated. Nobody said anything about it. And then of like him being killed off of Walking Dead, I can almost see that time being freed up and them trying to create a Nightwing that is Asian.
I mean, no, don't do that. Don't change the gender of these characters. If you want more diversity, just make another character. I mean, personally, my dream casting for Nightwing would be Ian Somerhalder. And with Vampire Diaries ending, like they only have like 2 episodes left, I think he'll have the availability to be Nightwing. Since we're skipping past the Robin phase and making him an adult, there you go. But that won't happen.
No, that won't. Once again, logic. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, right. Now, listen, and it seems like we always be down in DC, but they do some things correct. Like the CW actually is going in the right direction. Yeah. I think that they're doing a little too many crossovers, though. I mean, they got
that last one was stupid.
It was, and they got another one coming up next season. So, you know, they haven't released the details on what it's going to be about. We know the Flash and Supergirl have a crossover called, you know, like a musical or whatever. We'll be doing Music Meister. You know what I'm saying? So, if you haven't seen Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon, check it out. Music Meister done by Neil Patrick Harris. It was an awesome episode. He has the ability to make anybody sing. So it's kind of like the entire episode was a damn, like, you know, what do you call them? A musical. So it was kind of like that. And I thought it was hilarious, but, you know, they're trying to make that into a Supergirl Flash crossover episode.
That makes sense with Supergirl because I swear that series is a 1990s TV show all over again. I feel like I'm watching Lois and Clark every time I watch that show.
Speaking of which, they were on there. You know that, right?
Yeah. Dean Cain, he was on there, and then Terry Hatcher was on there too. But I don't really watch it, but I saw the news.
See, there you go. So maybe that's what it is. It does belong in the 90s. It seems like that's where it would have shined the most.
Right. This would have been a phenomenal show in the 90s.
Yeah, really great. But we get it now, and it's a hit and miss show. It gets corny, and sometimes I have to turn it off. I feel like it's too much. You know, I can't do it. I will give them props on Arrow, though. CW has brought Arrow back to like how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, this season's been really good so far.
It has. And another season or another show that actually is coming up, and I'm glad they're doing this, Black Lightning is actually going to be on the CW. They actually have already cast the person that they're going to have, Chris Williams. He's going to be the character for it. I'm loving the fact that now more than ever, we're getting the exposure of Black African-American superheroes because there were a ton of them. And for some reason,
thank you.
Yeah, clap it up. It was a ton of them. And for some reason, they just never cast any of them in movies. And shout out to Blade because that, once again, was the architect for all these movies coming out, but also the very first Black superhero movie that we got on screen. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him.
Blade started all. That was the blueprint. I mean,
that's the blueprint.
Didn't know what it was, but it started a whole new genre.
Yep. And now
with now superhero movies.
Exactly. And now with Chris Williams playing Black Lightning, of course, we know, Luke Cage just came out for Netflix. So, you know, Michael Coulter playing that. I think that's where CW is getting the idea to actually do a TV show on an actual Black superhero. And we already know, you know, Black Panther, you know. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
1 year.
1 year from today, we be quoting Black Panthers. Woo!
That's too long.
It's going down. But
it's too long to wait.
It's too long to wait, but it's gonna be worth the wait. Oh my God, it's gonna be worth the wait. I wonder how this is working out because they shooting both Infinity and Black Panther side by side.
Yeah, and I think Captain Marvel's gonna start soon as well.
Yep. So a lot of good stuff. I'm just shocked that they're doing so many projects at the same time. Usually
that leads me to think. Sorry to cut you off, but that leads me to think that the first movie is probably gonna be Thanos' Quest.
You think so?
Yeah, at least a good majority of it.
They haven't showed him getting a lot of because he still hasn't gotten any of the gems.
Nope. So and I'm pretty sure the Soul Gem's going to be in Ragnarok. So, because they are going to hell. So
that's true.
There's that.
Yeah, never thought about that. That could be it. Oh my God, if that ends with him getting the final gem, and then him facing that screen saying, "Come and get me," and they cut off.
Oh man.
Whoa. Boy, I will have to tip my hat to Marvel on that one, boy, because that would be it. Because we need that. We need Cap walking up to Thanos. Yep, we need that. We need Cap walking up to Thanos, and we need Thanos to go ham on everybody. Like exactly. I'm talking about him slapping the Hulk, knocking everybody out. We need to see that. He needs to. He has to be unleashed because
maybe like Nebula's dumbass trying to grab the gauntlet. I mean, throw that in there too. But
yeah, that's horrible because she got fried.
Exactly. Show that not anybody can just put this boy on.
Yeah. So we need to see all of that. You know what I'm saying? Russo brothers, you have been phenomenal up to this point on everything Marvel, from Winter Soldier, Civil War, and now you're on the Avengers project. I have faith in you. I mean, you've done nothing but inspire faith.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? What we always say, you, me, and Dupree.
You, me, and Dupree. These guys did a comedy. It was giving us the best comic movie to date.
Oh my God. So hopefully that's what we'll see. But yes, shout out to like CW for doing Black Lightning. I hope this brings a lot more, focus on him because he really was a sweet character. And I hope that could give us like character like intros. Static Shock can be on there.
Right. That goes back to DC with them having multiple of the same character because essentially him and Static Shock are the same character, but
Yeah, but that could be like maybe where Static actually decides to say that's where he got his inspiration from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can do that. So yeah, that's what we think. You know what, you guys, let us know what you think down in the comments. Of course, like I said, this being our first YouTube series, I really want to see what you guys have to say about this. We're going to have your comments posted. We're also going to keep you informed on our Facebook page, B2BD Podcast. We'll keep up to date with everything going on all this year because it's going to be a great year for comics and movies. So we'll get that to you as soon as possible. Plus, we'll do some reviews on comics. In fact, we got a review right now. If Infrar-Ed has anything that he has to say, saying that Infrar-Ed Comics Corner, you guys remember that? I know you do. So now you get to see him. He does this all the time when it comes down to anime. so now you know what I'm saying. He's feeling at home right now. It's like, I'm in front. I get to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So
all right. This week's for Infrar-Ed's Comic Corner, I'm actually going to take you to the manga side of things, a little bit more of my home. And that is a new series that I found called The Promised Neverland. That is only 27 chapters in as of this week. The next chapter actually comes out tomorrow. This is a new Shonen Jump series. And just because it's in Shonen Jump doesn't mean you should write it off, because usually Shonen Jump is known for Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, which is great. But this is a dark shonen. A very dark shonen, and I can't really talk too much about it without spoiling it, so it's some things I'm going to have to get into, but trust me, there's still a lot in this series that you can still indulge in as far as I like it. So The Promised Neverland is about these 3 kids in an orphanage by the name of Emma, Norman, and Ray, and they are in an orphanage, just living, playing, eating, doing what kids do, until one day they see one of their friends actually got away, and they see her dead. I mean, she just straight up murked with a flower on her chest, and she get drugged away by these demons. Whoa. So again, you can't really talk about it without getting into spoilers, because this was all the first chapter. That's what things pick up, because you find out that they are actually in the orphanage to be livestock. This takes place in 2029 or somewhere in that area, and humans are basically used as food. And this orphanage that they're in is kind of like a processing center. It's like these kids are taken from the age of 6 to up to 12, and in that range they are actually taught to be smart. These kids are geniuses. They're like physically adept and everything. And then when they get to their peak at 12 years old, they take this test. And the people that get the highest test scores are shipped off to these demons to be eaten. So,
whoa, are you serious? Promise Neverland. Nice.
So it's a lot of things as far as theories, as far as even what the Promised Neverland itself means, and there's some good things on that. But the overall premise of this series is these three kids is to try to escape. I mean, you have Emma. She's at the moment, she has a lot of potential, but she's a typical shonen protagonist. She's the person that's saying we can all escape together. On that front, you have the character named Norman, who is kind of like the strategist of the two. And he's like, I understand you want to get everybody out of here, but we got to think first, because the caretaker's name is Mama. And she is like, at this point, she's like the Dr. Doom of the series. Like whenever you try to outsmart her, she always got something else up her sleeve to stop it. And there's other like caretakers that come in that's trying to take her out, and she has her own story. And then Norman's kind of character that's like the thinker of them all, saying, look, we need to plan before we get out of here. We can't get everybody, but maybe we can try it. Then the third character name is Ray. And what's interesting about Ray is that he is the wild card because he's playing all sides in order to make sure that he gets the best position out of all this. Even though he does care about the other two, he's really saying, no, we're not going to escape with everybody. We're just going to escape with ourselves and get out of here. So that's his side of things. And finding out what's in this outside world, because these kids are in this orphanage with the wall. They don't know what's in the outside. They know some goons out there. They know they're going to be shipped off to be eaten, but the mystery is what makes this so good. And every week ends with a cliffhanger. Highly recommended. It's in Shonen Jump. I mean, when Shonen Jump gets a new series, they usually get like a 10 volume trial. And this was in Japan, and I think by like chapter 3. They started putting it in the American one, because that's how you know you're doing good in Shonen Jump. When they put you in the American one, where it comes out at the same time as the American release, which is online now, they started doing it side by side with the American release. When chapter 10 came around, it had so much popularity that it started actually getting the cover page of Shonen Jump and getting color pages. So they have a lot of promise behind this series, and it's still early on to get up on it. Promise Neverland. If you check out Shonen Jump, you can always go to their website and check things out. It's in every issue now. It started, again, they're only 27 chapters in, so it's pretty early too. It has me at the edge of my seat every week. As a matter of fact, I do review it every week as well on the Scout Report on YouTube. So
there you go. 1,500 strong. The man knows he's talking about. Check it out. Promise Neverland. That sounds pretty high. I'm pretty sure at some point we're about to get this in the anime.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get an anime because, again, it's 27 chapters in. I swear they've had like a color page at least 10 times by now. So Shonen Jump is really behind it. It's doing really well. It's too early for an anime. Like I think Boku no Hero didn't even get an anime till they were like in the 50s. So
that's just so they don't have to play catch up and have to,
right. So they at least have enough to give you like 12. They're doing a 12 episode thing now.
Okay. Okay, cool. There it is, everybody's Infrar-Ed's Comics Corner. Give you that hot manga right there. Promise Neverland. Check it out. Go to the Scout Report page on YouTube. Look for his review on it. That way it gets you a better idea. And I'm pretty sure he does like recaps and things of that nature from the near future for it. So if you want to play catch up
so
on
if you guys need to catch up, I actually have every volume reviewed for that series. So I have 1 through 28 in my videos.
There you go. See, we got you covered. This is what we do. We get you covered. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the first, and plenty more coming. We're gonna have plenty more to come, but the very first episode of Imperfect Genius is done on YouTube. Check us out on B2BD Facebook page, Scout Report on YouTube, Imperfect Genius is now on YouTube, and don't forget to check out our other shows that we have: M2C Gaming, In My Opinion Podcast, which those guys are actually coming up on their 50th episode. So, shouts out to them, man. That's a yeah, clap that up. That is a very, very, very great feat for them to come up to 50 episodes. So we have all that for you, as well as horror review. 777 just reviewed Get Out, and he gave it a 5 out of 5. Look, if you don't know who 777 is, and I'm gonna tell you, he's like a horror guru.
This guy is the man when it comes to horror. I mean, some of the stuff he's seen I never even heard of.
Exactly, and his level of like what he likes is very high. Like he doesn't do a lot of American horror movies because he doesn't find them that interesting. So for him to give Get Out 5 out of 5, which is an America-based horror movie thriller, that tells you something right there. So
done by Peele from Key and Peele, no less, written and directed.
I know, right?
Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie 100. It's like the
100%.
last movie that got 100% was like Toy Story 2.
Speaking of like Toy Story, man, I saw that damn sausage party last night.
Oh God.
she was a little too crunk. I was like, oh my God.
Honey mustard.
Oh, well, Honey Mustard was going in, baby. He was trying to tell you, stay woke, baby. He was trying to let them know out there what's going on.
But that end scene, you could probably look up the end scene on YouTube.
It's gonna be horrible.
Don't let your kids. Don't be that parent. Don't let your kids see Sausage Party. It's rated R. Read into it before you see. Hey, it's animated. No.
Right. Don't let them do that. Don't, because you will really scar your kids for life on that one.
Then you're gonna ruin it for everybody because you didn't read.
Yep. So definitely check it out. But once again, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to sign off right now. Stay tuned. We'll have another episode next Saturday right here in Perfect Geniuses.